here's the question. Is 650B the right wheel size for me? If you've been following along this season at all, then you know that I have been on a hunt for a new specialized Diverge frame to replace the Diverge frame that I run now. It was going to be a step up to the carbon, but it was also going to give me the opportunity to have some better tire clearance. I wanted to get up here a couple of weeks out from the event and do a little gravel, do a little climbing, kind of give the legs a rest, but then also kind of really go at the terrain that we'll see at unpaved. And when Joey found out that's what I was doing, he said, hey, let's throw my 650s on your Diverge and see what kind of clearance you have. And lo and behold, I have clearance. So it works really well. These WTBs, I'll say a little bit about these Ventures. Great tires. They do have a fine tread that runs the whole width of the tire, and it does, like some of the other reviews that I've read have said, it spits some fine gravel up at you. So you will get pinged with some small rocks throughout the course of your ride. No big deal unless one catches in the eye, goes up underneath your glasses, pops you in the mouth. Then you might have a little bit of fun, but beyond that, it's not really like it's a big deal. They're real quiet on the road. That was another thing I was kind of concerned with, was how this width tire was going to roll on the hardtop, and super smooth, and believe it or not, really quiet. I was surprised at how quiet I was. I was ready for the hum, ready for that, you know, that mountain bike on hardtop kind of like in your ear kind of noise, but it wasn't there. It was real quiet. Now on some of these big descents, I really did take it easy. A little worried about those 47s and running that lower pressure to roll that tire on some of these big descents, on these hardtop descents. So I did take it easy, but I never really felt like that was going to be a problem. They gripped the hardtop really well, and after a few rides up here in the mountains on some gravel and some climbing, it's a pretty easy decision to realize that those 650Bs running the 47 Ventures from WTB really give me that extra tire that I've wanted underneath the bike. It's not as fast. Obviously the 650B is not nearly as fast as a 700, but it climbs well, it climbs good. There's a lot of traction when you lower that air pressure. I'm running it right about 35 PSI in these 47s. So I think what I have decided, and I went ahead and pulled the trigger on, was to get some Shimano GRX 650Bs. And I found them, they were available in the age of COVID. Wonder of all wonders, tires and wheels were actually available. I'm matching them to some Terravel Washburns that are also 147. They got a little bit finer tread in the center, which would have actually been really nice. A lot of this gravel down here in North Carolina is really hard pack. It gets a lot of travel. But there have been a few places that I've been on this ride where I've had some real chunky gravel down by the Watauga River where it gets washed out a lot and they have to replace it with some really chunky heavy gravel. And I know that last year when I rode that on my 700s, it really was janky at best, really janky. So I really was curious to see what these 47s would do, and man, they float right over top of all this stuff. So I think the answer is that 650 is for me. Whether or not I still replace the frame remains to be seen. Probably will, just simply because the timing is right and it's the right thing to do. But we're doing a whole lot of things to the bike before unpaved. I got new bars, new tape, the new wheel set. There's just a bunch of stuff that's going to happen to the bike. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as that rolls out and as that occurs. So hey, thanks for watching the video, and if you haven't yet, click the subscribe button, like the video, maybe share it. I don't know, I think you're supposed to say those kind of things when you're doing YouTube. So thanks for watching, everybody.